Children of Pisces, the Two Pendants. Prologue, A Mother's Protection. Winter 2058, Southwest England. The creature threw back its head as a long howl bellowed through the forest, sending waves of terror through Sarah. It was giving a new set of orders to the rest of the pack. Sarah's legs buckled and she plunged headfirst to the forest floor. She raised her head, spitting leaves and gasping for breath as she looked behind her. The fear made her want to vomit. "Get up, Sarah, get up," she told herself. She had been on the run for 2 days, and they were very close behind her. Could she outstrip them? Grabbing a tree for support, she hauled herself to her feet. Looking around desperately as she caught her breath. She must find somewhere to hide, and hiding from them would not be easy. She felt movement and placed her trembling hand over her huge stomach. She must protect her babies. Grunting with determination, she left the support of the tree and stumbled deeper into the forest, desperately searching as she passed. Then she saw it, so small and hidden she almost missed it. Behind a huge and ancient tree was a shallow hole, almost concealed by undergrowth. It was just big enough for her to hide in. She ran past the area, doubled back and retraced her steps a few times, expertly covering her tracks. She eased off her rucksack and reached inside. Where was that fire blanket she had taken? It might not look much and was very small, yet it had many special qualities. Would it be soundproof? Would it prevent them and their machines from hearing her or her unborn children? She hoped so. She snuggled into position, wrapped the blanket around her and dragged leaves and twigs over the blanket, ensuring the undergrowth covered her completely. Only a small fraction of her face remained uncovered, which she smeared with soil and spit to make a mud mask. With sheer willpower, she slowed her breathing down, placed a reassuring hand on her stomach, and waited. The first two appeared from within the trees so suddenly that Sarah jumped with surprise at not having heard them. She had excellent hearing. They were super silent. They were dressed all in black, just like ninjas, and could have passed for humans except for their large eyes, far more menacing than any human ones. They were black and looked as if they had been plucked from the eye sockets of a seal before being placed into the head of a ghost, bulging and shimmering in the pale grey skin like a dark nightmare whenever the light caught them. Her heart raced and she felt the sickness rising within her. She heard the footsteps of the others. There were about 20 of them now, scanning the environment for any trace of her existence as they moved throughout the forest. They came to a halt a few yards from where Sarah was hiding, looking and listening intently, trying to sense her presence. One was holding a small, glowing machine in his hand. This was the machine they used to sense the unborns, her babies. They moved back and forth, the machine's colours changing as they went, and they moved closer to Sarah. Every instinct told her to run. Instead, she relied on her experience, held her breath, and remained hidden. She saw the one holding the machine coming closer and closer to her. Every step he took sent another shiver of fear soaring throughout her trembling limbs. He stopped in front of the tree and looked up and down until his eyes came to rest on Sarah's hiding place. All she could do was close her eyes and hold her breath. He could not reach her from where he was standing and would have to take a step to his right and launch forward to grab her. Her ears strained for the sound of this movement. She would have a nanosecond to escape his grasp and try to outrun them, impossible in her condition. Despite herself, she felt her lip tremble as the fear intensified and tears for her unborn children welled up. He was so close she could smell him, a light, earthy scent similar to mud. She opened her eyelids just a fraction and peeked through her lashes. His eyes searched the undergrowth until they came to rest on Sarah's face. He was looking at her right now, yet her camouflage was so good he did not know it, and his gaze travelled past her face. She daren't breathe. This was too close to risk breathing at this moment. She forced herself to lie still as a corpse and closed her eyes again. Then the smell was gone. She had not heard him move away. At first she was too scared to open her eyes and look. When she did, it was to see the back of them as they left. He had looked right through her. He had the machine almost within reach of the unborns, yet still he had not detected them. The fire blanket had worked. She watched as he raised his head and let out a long and horrifying howl. A similar reply came from somewhere in the distance. Sarah hated that sound. He reached for his belt and selected two small gadgets made of a soft, flexible type of metal, which resembled small flying insects. Sarah knew them as seekers. He activated the bracelet on his wrist, and a 3D holographic photo appeared in the palm of his gloved hand. Sarah gasped as she recognized her image. Each seeker acknowledged the image with a click of its internal camera and then flew out into the forest. They circled the area. One whizzed in the circle just above Sarah's head, and then they buzzed away in opposite directions. It was essential that she avoided these seekers, and if luck was on her side, she would remain behind them. Sarah dropped her head, gasping with relief. Yet even that sound might bring them back. They must be long gone before she allowed herself to move. She counted to 100, 200.